of Michigan great Braylon Edwards and, of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Monday show, March 17th, 2025. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, coming up on 80,000 subscribers on that platform. Less than 100 subscribers away from 80,000 on YouTube. And, of course, if you're watching on X, we say good afternoon to you. Braylon Edwards, happy St. Patrick's Day to you in your maize and blue.
I know the holiday. I know the holiday calls for green and white, but something about this weekend just felt like a maize and blue type of day, man. So shout out to the Michigan Wolverines. Won the Big Ten tournament last night. Beat up on who they beat?
Wisconsin. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter.
I felt the need to wear the Michigan versus everybody and get excited for the tournament, man. We got special guests, so I won't talk too much.
That's right, Tom Mazaway. Good afternoon to you, my man.
I'm not the special guest, but I'm here. I'm happy.
He's right behind you.
Hey, it's my second favorite holiday. It's March Madness, right behind the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Love it.
MSU. Go ahead.
MSU, Michigan, St. John's. Let's go.
Absolutely. Hey, and let's bring in a guy that
Maryland. I'm sorry.
Let's bring in a guy that we are so excited to partner up with for the Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge. Dr. J. Jugannathan, Jugannathan Neurosurgery. How are you, Doc? What's happening?
Appreciate that. Glad that you're on.
I'm telling you, it is one of the best times of the year for sports fans, and we've got this big, beautiful bracket right behind us. The QR code is right there on it. We want everybody to go to woodwardsports.com and fill out your bracket now. And it's funny, Doc, we were talking before the show. Are you the kind of guy that fills out the bracket when it immediately comes out, or do you wait and analyze all of the different matchups and everything and fill it out on Thursday?
I wait and analyze, especially this year.
See?
Flag, we don't know what's going on, so yeah, I definitely wait and analyze. Now you got the choices too, so I usually wait a little bit and see what happens.
See, Doc's smart. He's a man after my own heart. Yeah, I'm the same way. I think you take the time, you allow some days so you can do some research on the teams, do some research on the matchups, and then see if you can get the right upsets. We know a little bit about upsets here.
Now, you got to explain for the people out there, Doc. Now, I am very used to being around Maryland people. Explain the sweatshirt. You're a Maryland guy.
Well, you guys have to back five. We've got the crowd five, so that's our starting five, and it's good to see Maryland basketball finally doing well after the few down years, especially some Gary Williams left, and I think hopefully they have a chance to.
I feel like Maryland must hate the state of Michigan. Michigan State beats them at the buzzer on a half-court heave, and then Michigan beats them with a tenth of a second left.
Twice.
Yeah, the one positive is that we're not in the same bracket with you guys. Happy about that, but yeah, that was some rough defense at the end for us, for Maryland that last year. They had 5 seconds left when Cream got that free throw, and there's a lot of times you just get back down. Maryland took a lot to stop them, but hopefully they'll do better.
Speaking of Maryland doing better, I remember my time in college. There was this player by the name of Juan Dixon that was electric for Maryland, man. I think they won a national championship when he was there. He still has one of the better shots, I think, in the tournament history. What are some of your favorite college tournament memories?
Oh, definitely Steve Francis was kind of a big one.
Ooh.
Same time as Juan Dixon. My earliest memories, I went to med school at Maryland, so I was there when all that happened.
Blake? Okay.
But my earliest memory was Joe Smith. That was kind of our answer to the Fab Five. Joe Smith, Steve Booth, that initial
Number 1 overall pick?
Yeah, number 1 overall pick. And he came in kind of unheralded and really kind of made some waves for his first year. So yeah, I think DC area, we have the Wizards. We don't have a strong basketball team like you guys do here.
Oh, trust me, Doc. We've we've lived through the last 20 years of the Detroit Pistons. This is like.
Maryland, Georgetown is kind of what I grew up with. Most of us growing up there.
It's pretty incredible. And again, we invite everybody to go to woodwardsports.com right now and fill out your bracket. It is brought to you by Dr. J. Jugannathan of Jugannathan Neurosurgery. And it's so exciting. We've got the QR code here. Pete is going to put the link to it in the YouTube chat
Yes.
as well. The link to
I'm also going to do this.
there you go.
There we
Look
go.
at that. We've got it easier for you now. Right there, QR code, best bracket. And there are prizes. First prize, you're going to win $1,000. The second prize, you're going to get a weekend for two getaway at Grand Traverse Resort. Actually, my buddies and I are going on a golf trip there this year. So
Am I included in that buddy group? Wait a minute.
maybe I kind of almost want to finish second.
This is a hell of a prize list, man.
Right,
First
and
through third, there's no losing prize.
And then the third prize, 2 tickets to a Detroit basketball game. So much excitement. I did see, Doc, the odds of having a perfect bracket. 1 in 9.2 quintillion.
Quintillion.
That is, what is that, 16 digits or something like that? I don't
Your
even
guess
know.
is as good as mine.
Right. I mean, it's pretty incredible. Those things you always see, and I'm glad we're not doing that this year. Oh, perfect bracket, win $1 million. It's non-existent. It doesn't happen. It's so silly.
Right. Yeah. There's so many variables, and even like a team like Maryland, we're going to play out in Seattle. It's that travel time, all that other stuff plays a big role. And you got so many good coaches now. Like Pitino now at St. John's. I mean, so many teams with potentially coaching advantages that would take them ahead of maybe teams that don't have that seasoning.
I'm glad you mentioned Rick Pitino, because this is a guy, if Michigan can't win it all, I'm a Michigan guy, we're both Michigan guys here, if Michigan can't win it all, I said to myself, you know what, we love Tom Izzo on this show. Tom Izzo has treated us nothing but great. He shows up every time. We call Tom Izzo, he's like, what time do you need me? He's fantastic. And then these Spartan fans get in the mix, and I just can't root for Michigan State. Can't root for Michigan State. So now they're out of the way. Pitino is a layup for me. I think he is so good for college basketball, what Rick Pitino has done for St. John's and the Garden. What do you feel about him?
Yeah, one of the things I like about Izzo is that he's one of those guys that hasn't really kind of embraced that whole portal, right? The portal thing for me is kind of a new thing when it comes to college sports to kind of get used to, and it seems like he kind of goes with, kind of the more traditional recruiting and kind of, getting the players seasoning and getting the guys ready to play. Whereas I think Pitino seems to have gone the other extreme, right? Even historically, who knows how he did it back in the day when that stuff wasn't even legal. But yeah, I think they're both different opposites. I always respect that about Izzo. When I was in residency, Shaka Smart was at VCU, I guess, back then. He's in Marquette now, and I think he has that same kind of philosophy. So I think it's kind of nice to see. And one of the things with Maryland, Julian Reese, who's Angel Reese's brother, is one of our starters, and he's kind of one of those guys, like a fifth-year starter. Been with the team for a long time, gives you some leadership, and I kind of like that's kind of what I like about State is kind of seeing that the players kind of gradually mold and develop over the course of time.
I think this tournament is loaded with some really good teams. SEC 14 teams, I think that's incredible. But to what you talked about, Rick Pitino, Tom Izzo, I think this tournament this year it's going to be about the coaches. I know some great players in this tournament. I know we have a great player in the studio that we'll get to from last year's tournament, but it's the coaches this year. It's going to be the Pitino. It's going to be the guy who can motivate this guy down the stretch to get to the Elite Eight, to get to the Final Four. I think coaching is going to be the thing this year. Keep an eye out. A lot of star-studded coaches, excuse me.
No doubt. And you mentioned that one of those great players, Jack Gohlke, was the superstar of the tournament last year. Just 12 months ago, an incredible run for the Oakland University Golden Grizzlies. And Jack Gohlke is in with us now. And Jack, just if you could put yourself in a time capsule and go back 12 months, what was that night like? What was it like leading up to that game? And then just beating Kentucky the way you did it, my goodness, as you look back and you reflect, what did that night mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, like an experience of a lifetime for sure, and something that if I could jump in a time machine and go back and do it all over again, obviously would love to do that. But yeah, I mean, just leading up to it, it was just a lot of preparation, but we kept it similar to how we had the whole year. We didn't want to kind of over concern ourselves with them and worry too much about each individual aspect of the game. We obviously focused on things we thought were important, but we focused on ourselves too, and I think that helped us once we got to the game to kind of be more calm because we approached it how we always had, and once it got to the game, it kind of just calmed us down and we kind of relaxed, and at that point, like, we just went out there and played our best, and obviously the whole world was watching, so that just made it that much more fun and that much more of an exciting experience.
There will be so many people that raise their level of play in a moment like that, on a stage like that. What did you tell yourself about that opportunity? I mean, Doc probably goes through it a million times a day. Just when he's going through surgery, he can't miss any shots, right? But when you're on that stage, what is that? What do you say to yourself to make sure that you look back and you say, I met that moment?
Yeah, I mean, as an athlete, like you live for those opportunities. That's what you've always dreamed of your whole career, and to be on that stage, it's one of those things where you kind of just tell yourself you have to take advantage of it. You have to give it your all, and maybe you're going to miss every shot, maybe you're going to make every shot, but at the end of the day, you just got to put everything you possibly can into it. It's not obviously during a regular season game, you're still trying to win and everything, but there's definitely a different level of focus, different level of intensity once it gets to the postseason and the tournament, especially, just because we all know what comes along with it. So yeah, it's just that ultimate focus and being locked in.
Jack, everybody remembers last year, your 2 tournament runs, your conference tournament, and then you turn around in the NCAA tournament, the 32 points against Kentucky, legendary. But take me back a little bit before then, the journey from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which I believe is where you're from. Talk about how you got from there to that moment you scored 32 on Kentucky.
Yeah, it was a long, winding road for sure. Coming out of high school, I only had one scholarship offer, and it was to Division II Hillsdale College. So that's where I ended up for my first couple years of college, and that was an amazing experience. And I think that kind of helped me out, too, once we got to the tournament last March, because at Hillsdale we played in the NCAA tournament Division II every year and had some big moments, went to the Elite Eight, all that type of stuff. So that kind of helped me develop and get more confident in big games. Obviously, where there wasn't 18,000 people in the arena or whatever it may be, but just getting calm for those moments. And then once we got to last March in the conference tournament, like you said, there was some big moments, and we had a lot of guys make big-time plays. And I think each time some of us did the right thing and made the right play, we just got more confident for the next thing.
Doc, I know you're a big college basketball fan. Do you remember last year's Oakland University game?
Absolutely, yeah. We were absolutely rooting for it. Yeah, that was awesome to see, especially a local team doing that well. It was great.
And just an opportunity, part of what makes the NCAA tournament great is, yes, of course, Cinderella, right? Cinderella makes it. But when you see, yourself, many people probably before the tournament had no idea what your name was or who you were or that you even existed. And then every college basketball fan in the world then wanted a piece of Jack Gohlke. They wanted to know who you were.
I just wanted to go on record and say this, and you can ask Neil Rule, the voice of the Golden Grizzlies, before the game. I said that Oakland would beat Kentucky. Calipari in the tournament, all he does is rolls the ball out and lets the best players kick it. That's not how you play. I said that they were going to win.
Well, you mentioned, too, you come from Division II Hillsdale. I heard Greg Campy last night. He was on Fox, too, and just talking about in the world of NIL that we live in. Hell, the University of Michigan won 8 games last year. After a coaching change in NIL, they're the Big Ten tournament champs and in a top 12 team in the country. 700 players in Division II are already in the transfer portal. 700 players in Division II already in the transfer portal. That's not a Division I or even Division III, which our guy Duncan Robinson came from in Michigan. What is that experience like? Because it happened to you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a unique experience. I was kind of fortunate because I had a teammate at Hillsdale who went through the exact same thing the year before me, and he transferred to Colorado State, so I kind of knew what that was going to be like, talking to teams, going on visits, and all that type of stuff. But I think for me, it might have been a little different than some of the guys now because with Oakland or the other schools that were recruiting me, it wasn't really like a concern of NIL. That wasn't really a thing. It was more just what's going to be the best basketball fit for me. But now with guys having to concern themselves with, like, am I getting this much money from that school, but the other one is maybe a better fit for me basketball-wise, I could see how that's a difficult thing to manage. And when you're 22, 23 years old or however old you are, it's one of those decisions that maybe taking the money seems good, but, I mean, for me personally, I was super lucky that any money I took wouldn't have been worth the experience that I got out of it. So I'm glad that I ended up at Oakland and everything panned out that way.
Do you fill out a bracket? Are you a bracket guy? How many brackets do you fill out?
Absolutely. I don't think I filled one out last year. If I did, it had us going all the way. But every other year I've filled one out. And so I fill out, actually, I'll obviously fill out the D1 bracket. I fill out a D2 bracket as well. and do a challenge with a couple of my buddies. But yeah, this year I'll be filling mine out, and I got Houston winning it all.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
Houston. No Maryland Terrapins for you, and I only say that because I got Doc over here in the house, Maryland guy.
I definitely like Maryland, I'll go for Maryland out of the Big Ten. But Houston, I think maybe it's just because I'm kind of the opposite of the type of player that they have, but I love their style of play, how they guard and how they get after the other team. So I think they're going to go for it.
What do you think of the two local teams? Obviously, Michigan, really tough end of the season, then all of a sudden wins 3 games to win the Big Ten tournament title. Michigan State, as steady as you will see all year long, a 2-seed, Big Ten regular season champions, and probably Tom Izzo's best team in a long, long time.
Yeah, I think it was just the quintessential Izzo season, to be honest. So kind of like Doc said, they haven't really been in the portal too hard. They haven't really been doing a lot of the NIL stuff quite as much as a lot of other schools have, and yet here they are, a 2-seed in the tournament with a great chance to make a Final Four run. And Michigan, I mean, there was a lot of doubts with them coming into the end of the season. Like you said, can they win close games? Can they beat good teams? And then they go on this run and win the Big Ten tournament. So I think both teams here locally have a great shot to make a run in the tournament, although everyone picking that 12 seed, I think, is it San Diego to upset Michigan? I think Michigan's gonna move on there.
I know you're playing for the Motor City Cruise now. Have you considered a career in broadcasting? Because you are very thorough and very clean here.
No, I appreciate it. I've definitely thought about it. I actually jumped on the broadcast when Oakland was playing UWM in Milwaukee, and I was on there for 4 minutes or so doing the the play-by-play and whatever Neil does.
Oh, play-by-play is next level.
No, sorry, my bad. Neil was doing the play-by-play.
Okay.
I was doing the color.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Play-by-play is crazy.
Yeah, even that was tough, but I want to keep getting better at it, and I think it's a fun thing to do for
Timing is everything. There's no doubt. All right, Doc, I cannot let you get out of here without talking a little Lions-Commanders playoff.
Yeah.
Did you expect that? Now, again, Doc lives here now. He's a great Michigander. And he's a great part of our Woodward sports team here. But
that thing here.
from the DC area and big Commanders fan.
Yeah.
So did you expect that, and where do you think the Commanders go from here?
I'd be lying if I said I expected it. Yeah, I was happy. I was delighted to see it happen. But yeah, I kind of thought the Lions, just top to bottom, were so strong. But there were a lot of, when you look back, there were some variables there. Ben Johnson leaving and other things. The kind of the little bit of flux on the Lions side, and obviously, having a great quarterback's like a uniter, right, an amalgamating force. Having Jaden coming in like that strong kind of brought the whole team together. So yeah, it was great. I mean, free agency, I was hoping they'd kind of do a little bit more for the defense, at least the Commanders would. But I think getting Debo is a positive for the offense. I think getting Tunsil to protect him will be good. So I'm looking forward to our matchup in DC when Detroit comes there, I think, in the fall. So
Doc, don't fall into the media and Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and they were busy. No, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, they came in here and they kicked the Lions' ass. Talk about when you guys first drafted Jaden Daniels at the beginning to when he exploded in the playoffs and beat the Detroit Lions. Like, what was the feeling when you drafted him to them?
Well, keep in mind, Caleb Williams is a DC guy, right? So everybody wanted, it was kind of the homies like the Aiden Hutchinson kind of version of bring someone back. We had a bad experience with Chase Young. He got injured when he drafted him. He's a DC guy, too, in 2020. So a lot of people were there were a lot of rumblings about maybe trading up to get Caleb or hoping that Caleb goes down. Jaden, I think the main worry was just whether he'd be too fragile, with him being kind of lanky and tall, and our offensive line isn't the greatest either. Which doesn't help the situation. But man, he's incredible. He's something else. I wasn't really sure what to expect, but we know the team won 3 games the previous year, right? They're the second worst team in the league, and to go from there to being the second best team in the NFC, I mean, nobody would have expected that.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those moments. It sucked that it happened in Detroit because we're Detroiters. You don't want it to happen, but couple years from now, 5 years from now, I can look back and be like, man, I watched it. I was there when Jaden took off. So I
think Fox 2 Detroit executive sports producer Greg Canner has met his match when it comes to University of Maryland and Washington sports fans. Dr. Jugganathan, we cannot thank you enough for this partnership. Everybody, woodwardsports.com. We'll put the QR code up. There it is right there. There it is right there. Just scan it. You have until Thursday morning to fill it out. Share it with your friends. WoodwardSportsBracket.com is the website. WoodwardSportsBracket.com is the website for that. 3 prizes. First prize, $1,000. Second prize, a weekend getaway for 2 at the Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City. And then third prize, 2 tickets to Detroit basketball. So it's fun time. Who you got in your Final Four? Do we do that yet, or do you have some Final Four picks for us?
I have State coming out of I guess the South. I have. As much as I'd like Maryland to come out of the West, I think I'm going to choose St. John just because of the coaching aspect. I think I have Houston coming out of the Midwest, and being an old ACC fan, I think I got to go with Duke coming out of the East. So I think as long as Cooper Flag's healthy, I think that's going to be a tough team to beat.
There you go.
Tough bracket, man.
Yeah, it is, no doubt.
It's another team for Michigan in that bracket, in that region. Just want to point that out.
All right, we're going to come right back here on Woodward Sports Network. But first, a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. We invite everybody to come on in to Lady Jane's. Over 100 locations nationwide, several more here in the Metro Detroit area. At Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Woodward Sports is at it again, giving away more cash and prizes than anyone in Detroit. Get into our March Bracket Challenge, powered by Jugga-Nathan Neurosurgery. If you have the biggest basketball brain and get first place, you win $1,000 cold, hard cash. But it doesn't stop there. Second place gets a weekend at Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, including brunch at Erie and golf. Third place, 2 club seats to see the Pistons versus Bucks with food and drinks courtesy of RHB Laboratories in Troy. You can pre-register now at woodwardsportsbracket.com. That's woodwardsportsbracket.com. Then, after Selection Sunday, fill out your bracket for your chance at $1,000 in cash money and more. Pick by mascot, choose by team colors, have your dog picked. No matter how you do it, go to woodwardsportsbracket.com right now and register. All powered by the best in the game, Jugga-Nathan Neurosurgery and Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Oh, yeah, everybody. We are the greatest digital sports platform in all of Michigan and all the world. We got 6 family members over there to my right. We got YouTube, we got Instagram, we got X, we got Facebook, we got TikTok, and we got Twitch. You can catch Woodward Sports on all 6 of our family members. Like, share, subscribe, join, do whatever you have to do to stay in contact with Woodward Sports, your number 1 sports digital network.
Hey, welcome back. Woodward Sports Network, Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We think we've got Tom Mazaway around here somewhere.
That's not my water.
Oh, man.
I think we.
He spilled his
Can
Kool-Aid.
you put a camera on this? You got to get a camera on
He spilled
this.
his Kool-Aid.
Oh, Maz.
Oh, man, it went all the way over
Come
there.
on. Oh, man.
Maz, is that a sign?
Maz, what is that? Is that Kool-Aid or water? Or what do you?
Water, but is it the Lion's Kool-Aid?
My lemon water.
Oh, your lemon
I
water.
got the lemon in there.
Lost all my lemons.
Oh,
Like
my
expensive
God.
lemons are right now?
I gotta bring you some lemons in there, man.
Oh,
That's
my
17
God.
cents worth of lemon over there.
Wow, Maz.
Well, when Maz does that, we still have guests in studio.
Oh yeah, I mean we kept Jack
know
Gohlke
that.
over here. We're like, we can't let this basketball mind escape us.
We didn't ask any good basketball questions. It was all about the tournament and him. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, what did you want to ask him, Braylon?
Actually, first,
Now I'm
guys,
on the spot. No, but I was gonna ask him about the state of the 3-point shot. No. Steph just broke 4K last weekend, so I was gonna ask him what Steph with 4K. What do you think about Steph as a shooter, and then the state of the 3-point?
Nope.
that's on me.
Hold
There we
on.
go.
There we go.
There
Okay,
we go.
there we go.
But no, I mean, super impressive. Like when you look at the ranking of Steph gets to 4,000, and Harden's below him at like 3,200.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's under 32.
Harden's just been sniping threes for his entire career too. It's just crazy to see, and also to see that Curry surpassed 4,000 threes, and LeBron's still like 20,000.
No?
I'm sorry. That mic we're having some trouble with that mic. We're gonna get that
The mic's
resolved.
off?
Maz, why don't you sit
That's
down here and be a part of the conversation with us? We're trying to figure it out, but they'll try to figure out.
All right, yeah.
But hey, let's back this up for a second here. Get a little local. Michigan wins the Big Ten tournament yesterday, 59-53 over Wisconsin. Vlad Golden, the MVP. Let me first and foremost say this now. I have never, and forgive me, Jack, for a moment. I don't want to bring you into this. I have never been in my life. I tweeted yesterday about Michigan winning the Big Ten tournament championship, and you would have thought that Michigan State Spartan Nation thought I said, I don't even want to say anything remotely close to. You would have thought I said I want to kill your family. You know what I mean? I like the way that the Spartan people came after me yesterday.
They don't like you.
They don't like me. What did I do to them?
4 years ago, they pissed them off.
What did I do to them?
You told the truth.
But nonetheless, it's shocking, and it has caused me, because there is a part of me that wanted Tom Izzo to get a number 2.
Yeah.
Because of the fans now.
They're the worst.
I do not want Michigan State to win one game in the tournament. We've got Jack's mic back.
I'm not going to let the fans ruin it for me. I'm not.
Well, I let him already ruin it for me.
I'm rooting for Michigan State, Michigan, and St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I'm rooting for.
Here's a good question.
It sucks that Michigan and Michigan State are in the same bracket, and I'm pretty sure, and I go back a long way, I don't ever remember them being in the same region.
Look at that.
I just don't.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's Stick bringing the lemon.
Thank you.
Making lemonade out of it.
Am I wrong here? Have they ever been in the same region?
I don't believe they have.
And I want to continue this. Why even play the Big Ten tournament if you're going to was a 5 and you stay a 5? And the teams you beat, Purdue and Wisconsin, are ahead of you. Why play? They should have just took the weekend off, went to Cabo, rested up, and they're making a mockery of it is what I'm trying to say. And I enjoyed the hell out of these tournaments. I did. But what they did yesterday was that's buffoonery, what they did. Michigan didn't improve. They won 3 games. They beat 3 terrific teams, and they stayed a 5. I don't get it, and I don't understand how Wisconsin's ahead of them, and I don't understand how Purdue's ahead of them. Learn me.
Well, it just goes back to
Maryland's in front of them.
Yeah, it goes back to quad 1 wins. Purdue, Maryland, and Wisconsin all ahead of Michigan, and Michigan beat them all. And maybe the conference tournament doesn't matter, okay? Yeah. Maybe the conference tournament doesn't matter. Then take the automatic bid away if the tournament doesn't matter.
Or Maryland or whoever it may be, but they just
Michigan had more than all.
Or Maryland or whoever it may be, but they just
Michigan had more than all of them.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah,
Now they have more, and
Yeah.
they proved it in the conference tournament. And the fact that the committee just mails in their bracket a couple days early is definitely unfortunate.
Jack, here's a real question. Which one is harder to do? Is it harder to win the regular season title like Michigan State and Tom Izzo did, means you got to weather the storm, you make it through? Or is it harder to beat 3 teams at the end of the season when everybody is vying for that spot and they're probably playing their best basketball?
I think winning the regular season is a good accomplishment, and I think it's important that you hang the banner for it. But winning the conference tournament is definitely more difficult because, like you said, it's the end of the year. During the regular season, there's games here or there that don't matter as much. You can kind of rest up, whether it's against the 12th ranked team in the conference or whatever it is. But yeah, you're playing 3 straight games against the top teams in the league. Neutral site, you don't have home court or anything like that, and those are just the toughest games.
Listen, I watched almost every tournament game this weekend. I was locked in. I watched the ACC. North Carolina.
One screen, 4 different games on one screen?
No, I switched the channels. North Carolina got in this tournament by what they did on Friday night to Duke. They were down 25 points, and they kept whittling it away. And they were down 1 point with a player at the free throw line. He missed the first one. You just got to get the second one to tie, go to overtime. Lane violation by a fifth-year senior. I felt so bad for that kid. He was crying. I brought my wife in. She's like, oh, my God, look at this guy. It was horrible. But North Carolina should have won that game. And I'm telling you right now, the people that laughing at Carolina, they're going to win the playing game, and they're going to knock off, I think it's Ole Miss. They're going to win a couple games. I'm telling you right now. Those tournament games,
they aren't.
Those tournament games mean a lot. Michigan is going in now red hot from a team that was about to just fold up. Would they lose 5 in a row or 6 in a row? Anyway, they win the final 3.
4. They were at 4.
They're facing San Diego State, Tom.
No,
Yes.
You definitely can gain momentum, and that's why I said I agree with you. But I disagree with the type of momentum you can gain from North Carolina. They have had an abysmal season. Like Hubert Davis is in jeopardy of potentially getting his job taken from him. They were 1-12. You saw the records. You saw the stats, so there's no need to put it out there. I don't think North Carolina is that good, and I'd be surprised if they got out of the first round. The play-in round, that is.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I just know Michigan just did not get anything out of winning that tournament. So if they lost in the first round, are they still a 5?
Are they a 6?
Probably.
Well, no, I think that's what it was. If you take what the committee said at heart, it said 1 through 10 was done on Friday. The 1 seeds through the 10 seeds were done on Friday.
Why?
That's a question for the committee. And I also think you should probably now open the room up to cameras and let us see what they're discussing.
I agree.
Let us see what you're discussing because I'm sorry, 14 teams out of 16 in the SEC, it just doesn't make any sense either. Just let everybody into the NCAA tournament then and have this
they're gonna bump
bonanza.
It's going to be 68. It's going to be in the 80s before you know it. It will.
And then you see this North Carolina athletic director who's also the head of the committee,
He had
who
to be
also gets
excused.
a $104,000 bonus for making the tournament.
All right.
So I mean, it's just all. Yeah, he's the North Carolina AD, and he gets a $104,000 bonus. If
So he
North
told the
Carolina
guys.
makes,
He told the guys in the rooms, "I'll kick you each $10,000."
Right, exactly. It's like
right,
the government.
you know.
Yeah,
but again, like that part is, and again, just tell us what we're dealing with here.
Right.
Like people can handle it. If you tell me, hey, Michigan sucked down the stretch, they're a 5 seed. What they do in this tournament doesn't really matter. Fine, but still, we're hanging a banner for Big Ten tournament champions, and we did get the automatic. When you see automatic berth at the bottom screen,
It does feel good.
For Big Ten, it says Michigan. You know, that's what it says. And to be honest with you, I would rather, for me, Ryan Ermanni, me, and I tweeted this out yesterday, I would rather win the conference tournament than the regular season tournament. Now, I know, than the regular season. A lot of people believe that is absolute blasphemy. And a lot of people believe I'm probably only saying that because Michigan State won the regular season. But college basketball, to me, has become all about March. And many people, including me, pay attention in March. I'm sorry, I'm just probably not watching on January 17th, Michigan and
Purdue,
Rutgers. I mean, I'm whatever. It's just it doesn't get me going. But March tournament, Hell yes. Let's go Rutgers. Let's go Scarlet Knight. Let me see what you got. So as a fan, I'm way more into it for the tournament than I am at all during the regular season. So for fandom, I love this.
Jack, let me ask you this. When does the intensity change in the season of college basketball? Because as a former college player, intensity does change, depending on the games, depending on the time of year. When does it change for your season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you make a great point that the March has just become the most important part of the season. Obviously, the postseason is always the most important part, but I really think it does start with the conference tournament. It doesn't start with the NCAA tournament or anything like that. It starts when you've already played all these teams twice, or some of these conferences are so big it's only once, but you're familiar with everybody. You're coming into it. It's not as much about game plans. It's about turning up that intensity, and it's about who's going to make the plays in the biggest moments. So as soon as it becomes do or die, that's when the intensity turns up, and it's just when that conference tournament tips off.
Detroit Pistons this season, they opened up as 25.5 games with the over-under for them. A lot of people did not believe in what the Pistons had done just because of the past. They have been horrendous for so many years. They're the worst franchise according to statistics. So, going into this season, you're hoping that it changed. I don't think anybody saw it change like this. Trajan Langdon's come in and clean house. J.B. Bickerstaff, you saw the fire. I was at that game on Saturday night, and the fire was there. The energy was there. SGA side note, it's just amazing. Mm-hmm. But just talk about where the Pistons are and the turnaround they had. Just kind of being in that same building-ish. Like, what have you seen and what have you noticed for them to get to the space they're in now?
Yeah, I think it's just their mindset and kind of how things have changed for them. As soon as they got that momentum at the beginning of the season, I think that kind of just built on their confidence, and that's just a huge thing in sports, and especially in basketball with how long of a season it is. You can go into it with certain expectations, but kind of as soon as you can shake those off, and no longer it's a 25-win season. Now we're going for 45 or even 50. We're trying to secure a playoff spot, and I think for them it was just really building that confidence early in the season, seeing Cade's improvement to potential MVP candidate and all that type of stuff, and just the toughness they play every game with. I think it just snowballs, and then from there they can get themselves into the playoffs.
Jack, when you see, and obviously you played college basketball, you see all these great players, think about every player on every team in college basketball right now still playing, probably either believes or has believed at some point in their career they could be an NBA player. Now you are, in the G League. Do they call it it's the G League, right? Yeah. It's the G League with the Motor City Cruise, and you're competing every night, and all of those players. Can you just talk about how much work and how many players and just how hard it is to get into that league? I mean, it's an unbelievably small group.
Yeah, absolutely, and I feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to even compete with those guys and to be in that arena. And it's something that, like you said, everyone kind of expects that they're going to be there, and everyone hopes they can be there. And you just got to put in the work and put in the time, whether it was in high school, in college, and now once you're done and you're trying to make it as a pro, you just got to keep putting that time in and kind of keep looking back and see who you've passed along the way and try to just keep passing the next guy, because a lot of times people say, like, you shouldn't compare yourself to others, and maybe a little bit you should obviously focus on yourself, but I think what really helps guys to get to that next level is to see who they need to jump to take their spot and to get to that next level. So it's really tough, it's really competitive, but it's something that's super enjoyable to try to just keep working and keep improving.
Is there a guy you model your game after?
No one guy in particular, but there's been a lot of guys who I've watched film and try to take parts of their game. Obviously, guys like J.J. Redick, and actually when we were out in L.A. Playing the South Bay Lakers in the G League, Rip Hamilton was there at one of our games, and it was really cool for me to get to introduce myself to him and talk to him a little bit, because I watch a lot of his film, and when I was younger, he was one of my favorite players. I always loved shooters, so to get to meet him and take a little notes was really cool.
Was Bronny in that game?
Yeah, Bronny was playing.
No kidding. How was?
Did he come in a limo?
I'm not sure, but there was definitely more fans there specifically for Bronny than any other reason. But no, I mean, he's honestly been playing pretty well in the G League, averaging 20 points, which is not easy to do, and he gets a lot of crap, and understandably so, just because how he's connected to his dad and all that stuff. But he's definitely been a solid player in the G League this year.
Hey, I want something for you, Jack. I just want to go back to last year, and I remember exactly where I was watching that game against NC State. And you guys could have won that game in regulation. Goes to overtime. It's a 14 versus 11. So the Cinderella's coming out of that no matter what. But you could have been the first 14 seed to make it another step. It would have been the Elite Eight, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Or Sweet 16.
Yeah, I thought you were in the Sweet 16. Anyway, that game, man, and then you
Felt like it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Then you get to see NC State go to the Final Four. How did that feel to you guys, knowing how close you were?
Woo, Mavs with the heat.
Yeah, if people, a lot of people will say stuff like, "Oh, you lost to them, so you want them to do well to make yourselves look better." No, absolutely not. I know a couple guys from that team now, and they're cool guys, so I'm glad they had the success. But after you lose that game, you want them to get blasted the next round. You just want to see, we wouldn't have advanced, whatever. But seeing them go to the Final Four, obviously we had an amazing game, and it was an amazing experience. But that just makes you wonder, did we have a shot to make it to the Final Four to play in Phoenix?
Hell yeah, you did.
You mentioned Schroeder, Dennis Schroeder, that is correct. And this past summer, he made some comments during the Olympics, and he was talking about the state of the World game or the Euro game versus the NBA game, and he said their players are more mature, they're better players than the NBA game. What are your thoughts on the Euro players? We know the last 5 or however many MVPs have been won by foreign players. It does seem as though the league is going that way. We still got a lot of stars that are homegrown, homeborn. Talk about where you feel the league is at compared, Euro versus USA.
Yeah, I actually spent the first 4 or 5 months of this pro season overseas and got a good experience of playing with those type of guys and seeing kind of how they approach the game differently. And I think it's just two different aspects to training and how you develop your game. Over there, it's super focused on team and you get your workouts together. Everyone kind of does the same stuff. It's not really split up guards and bigs. We're all passing, we're all ball handling, we're all shooting, whereas here in America, it's more you kind of figure out what your skill set is, and then you develop it and you hone it, and that's why we see guys that are so efficient at what they do. Like Kevin Durant can just score from anywhere. He's obviously worked at his craft for so long, and whereas guys like Jokic, he can do everything on the basketball floor: shoot, pass, dribble, make plays, and I think that's the biggest difference is how the guys get developed overseas versus here in America. And not that there's one way better than the other, but like you said, I think the guys coming out of here in America, we still have the best athletes, we still have the best players. Maybe some MVPs have come from overseas, but I'm still going to take the American guys.
It's so funny how basketball players can turn that switch. Like, I don't think football players, we can change our gameplay to a certain extent, play with more intensity, but basketball players can flip that switch. I remember watching KD this past weekend, and Luka got to talking to Lil Yang, got to popping some stuff. KD was struggling the whole game, couldn't make a shot, 8 misses in a row. KD made 6 shots in a row because he wanted to. He flipped that switch. It's always amazing that basketball players just have that ability to do that. I couldn't do that.
And again, we've got Jack in the house here, and we did have Dr. J. Jugannathan of Jugannathan Neurosurgery in promoting our Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge. And again, college basketball is here. It is March Madness. And again, from last year's March Madness, there was perhaps no player that did more for himself and more for his university than this guy to my right. Jack Gohlke, and
he signed an NIL deal right off the court.
What was that for? Oh my gosh, what was that? I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'll walk you guys through the NIL after the fact. So we get done with the game, whatever. I hadn't gone on my phone, but my buddies were there with me, and they're like, hey, we got to set up an email because these companies are going to start asking you, whatever. So I get a couple emails, and the next morning, a couple of my friends, they're like, hey, you got to shoot these 2 commercials at the hotel because I had nowhere else to do them, and I didn't want to take the time to go travel to some studio in Pittsburgh and worry about that when we had a game the next day. So I did a TurboTax, and I in the hotel ballroom, and just took a little fadeaway jumper, drew a little cord on the floor, and sent it in, and then posted it, and it was just crazy how viral that went. Everyone making fun of that.
Oh my God, I remember that. Maz, good call.
I thought you did a chicken one too.
There was a Buffalo Wild Wings.
That's what I remember. Good call, man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
You gotta get to that bag.
So and then not asking you how much you make or anything like it, but do they just Venmo you or wire money into your account? How does that work?
Cash out, baby.
Yeah, it was just normal deal, like wire it to my account like 30 days after or whatever it was.
kidding.
Just like a normal accounts payable, I guess, for their business.
That is so
Jack,
awesome.
you still got VIP
30-day
service
part
at Buffalo
sucks.
Wild Wings?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going. Let's go, buddy.
I
Let's
will
go.
add something funny about the TurboTax deal, though. So, like I said, I filmed it in the ballroom the day after the game, tried to get it posted as fast as I could because we knew it was going to go viral. But I had a friend who played at Illinois, and he ended up doing a deal with TurboTax later in the tournament. And in his contract, there was a clause that said, video must not be shot in any hotel ballrooms or any side. It has to be in an actual arena. So I like to say that's the Jack Gohlke clause.
No kidding.
That's legit.
Got away with it. Respect.
I love
No
it. Man.
kidding.
I love it. You set the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
The 30-day period is very annoying, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I was like, just give me paid now.
Braylon, you get hit with a couple of 30-day periods.
When you're dealing with big companies, it's going to be a 30-day company. I mean, a 30-day wait. Like, I remember I did something at the national championship when Michigan played against Washington. I was with AT&T. AT&T had a thing set up. They had like a little game where you throw the balls through the rings, points, and it was me versus the crowd. And, it was a good amount of money. The thing that sucks is when you no longer have a manager doing these things. I do them now myself. No big thing. But see, the manager is the one that can hound people. So when they got the 31 days, when they got the 32, I'm like, what do I do? Day 34, I said, all right, fine. I gotta send an email and be the bad guy.
And then you got to fill out all the different forms probably to get paid.
Yeah, it was like
be like an independent. What do you call it?
Contractor.
100%. You gotta take care of that stuff ahead of time. That's the trick to the trade.
Oh my gosh,
Jack, you got to get on the broadcast with Neil Rule. Come on, you guys are dynamite.
I called a game, a couple of minutes of a game with Neil, and it was a ton of fun. And I told him that I want to maybe get into it next year if I'm around more or whatever. But I love broadcasting.
Awesome,
it's a lot
man.
of fun.
It's a great question from Tiger Town. Where is Trey Townsend these days? Like he was a big part of the team last year.
Yeah,
he left to NIL, didn't he?
He did. He transferred to Arizona, and I'm not sure what seed they got, but yeah.
Oh yeah, they're a 4 seed, I think.
Yeah. They play Akron. I think a 4-13 game, and
oh, that's great for him.
Yeah, so I'm excited to watch.
Again, like that's the hardest part about a team like Oakland. And Campy was talking about this last night on Fox 2. Not only do you have 700 guys in the Division II portal, you have to try to keep your own guys. And it's not like for a coach, it's not a situation where you're like, oh, I'm going to give you an opportunity to play and you're going to start, you're going to be showcased. It's literally now,
how much you paying me?
How much money can I pay you? And I understand it for the player. I get it. But it's like, even for I'll call my own school out. Even for Michigan, right? It's not like
they have a whole new team.
It's not like I'm just talking about Michigan football for a minute. It's like Michigan football, okay? I mean, it's not like, Sharon Moore and these guys made such a pitch to Bryce Underwood that he's going to, be the next great Michigan quarterback and go in this lineage of Tom Brady's. They came up with more money.
Yeah.
And
a chance to stay home.
But he didn't care. Now it's great.
They did that too. They just threw that bag down
too.
there
But he had a chance to stay home when he committed to LSU as well. You know what I mean? So it's fine, but it does make my love for college sports that was here, and it makes it here. Even Michigan, I don't even know these guys.
Yeah.
My own school, I don't know them. It's
you do now.
I do now. It's the greatest thing about college sports too, because Michigan was 8-24 last year, and now they're a 5 seed and have a chance. I think they've got a chance to win a weekend, maybe go further, 2 7-footers.
They can.
So NIL has given us fans the opportunity to get good quickly. NIL has taken away the opportunity to build a story.
Right.
Like see a kid that was a freshman competing his tail off, not that great as a sophomore, improve as a junior, and then lights out as a senior. You know what I mean? Those stories you just don't see anymore.
That's tough, man.
I think the stories find a different path now. You still have stories. Look at K9's story. K9, Kenneth Walker III. He did have one of the most amazing games I've ever witnessed with my own 2 eyes. Shout out to Michigan State for that moment. Leaves Wake Forest, just not it. And then all of a sudden he comes here, hits that moment. Should have been at the President's Cup. Should have been in the downtown President's Club in New York, where the Heisman is. Goes to Seattle. There's still moments. There's still stories. You just got to find them. Jack just told us about his story, about his journey. So there's still stories. They just look a little bit different, as far as the effort. you know what, trying to win a starting job, like, you're going to give everything you have to get that job. You're going to put in work in the summer. You're going to put in work in the off season, whenever that is, to try to get that spot. And you appreciate that effort. Now, you may not have that for 4 years, but you got guys that are getting paid and guys that understand that this is my year to make the most of an opportunity. So it may not be a guy that's been there for 4 years, but you're still getting guys putting forth that effort and that maximum effort, because it doesn't matter why. They're still putting forth maximum.
Here's the great story of NIL right here.
Boom.
Because NIL and transfer portal. Because without that, you don't go to Oakland. You don't have that moment. And if you don't have that moment, you don't know what happens, in the future. If you didn't have that game, was the goal to still go this route? I mean, what would the doors have been as open if you didn't have that game?
Yeah, the goal was definitely still to go play professionally, but I had always just envisioned that as being overseas and just building a career in that way. But yeah, I mean, the game definitely opened up a lot of doors for me. Like I said earlier, with NBA workouts and the summer league, and then having opportunities in the G League to compete and play against guys that had amazing college careers and stuff like that. So I'm very fortunate to have that chance to open these doors and try to kick them down now.
That's awesome.
Man, just the last thing I wanted to ask you. Coaches like Rick Pitino and even your coach, Greg Kampe, they have said, look, we're not going to high schools anymore. I'm not recruiting those kind of kids anymore. I am literally.
Rick Pitino said he'd never recruited another high school kid ever.
He will never do it again. And Greg Kampe uttered those words as well, because if you bring a kid, you work so hard to bring him to Oakland, and then Tom Izzo throws him whatever and says, come on, you're not going to Oakland, you're coming to MSU. So the way to build a team now basically is through the transfer portal. Already you saw John Calipari, one and done. It don't work. He's never won. The one and dones don't win. Even the Fab Five didn't win. But I'm just saying, to see that, what these guys go through, it's a new way of college basketball. I wanted to ask you, Jack, last thing. Any good, fun stories from Greg Kampe that we don't know about? I want a Greg Kampe story, a good one.
Greg Kampe
Something
story
that we don't know.
Oh, I mean, man, there's 100 good Kampe stories. That's a good question, though. I'll give you one from. So we went to Italy. We had a team trip to Italy last summer, or 2 summers ago, I guess. And we're playing. It was like 95 degrees, super hot. The gym has no air conditioning, anything like that. And we end up losing to this pretty good pro team. And I've never had an issue with hot gyms or anything like that, because I've never been in a gym that's that hot, no air conditioning. But I was sweating like crazy. I couldn't hold on to the ball. It was sliding out of my hands. And there was one play where the ball, I was past the ball, it slipped right out of my hands, and I was like, Coach, I can't do anything about it. Like, you either got to take me out or give me a towel or something. And he was yelling at me, getting all upset at me, whatever. And so then that's a lesson from Kampe. The year goes on, it goes on, it goes on. Finally, we finished the Kentucky game, and he just comes up to me and says, "Hey, you caught all the balls today." And I was like, "Are we really tying it back to that?"
The biggest game, man.
Are we
The
really
biggest
tying it
game.
back to that?
That's awesome.
Hey, playing inside St. Cecilia.
Dante's got a question for you in the chat. How is it playing with Bobby Clinton?
He's a tremendous player. I think he has a really bright future for the Pistons. Just great energy guy who can do a lot of things on the floor. And I think with a couple years of development, he can be a great NBA player, because he has all the physical tools that it takes, and he has the motor. So now it just comes to adding all the skills to that.
Cool, man.
Great stuff. Jack, we cannot thank you enough for coming in, man.
We wish you were still playing.
So fun to talk to you. And again, you ever want to come in and just shoot the breeze with us, man, you got an open invitation here. And again, Motor City Cruise, best of luck with that. Hopefully we see you at LCA. Give us one game, like get you in the game there in the NBA with the Pistons. We'd love to see it. Jack, the great story of the NCAA tournament a year ago. Who will it be this year? Fill out your brackets now. Go to Woodward Sports bracket.com. Our good friend Dr. Jay Jugganathan of Jugganathan Neurosurgery has put this together for us. We cannot thank him enough. We cannot thank you enough. And we're having a lot of fun here. Fill out your bracket today. We'll be right back. Woodward Sports Network.
First, a message
from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. Buick GMC. That's right. Les Stanford. Buick GMC has great offers for everyone. Get a 2024 Envision for only $299 per month, or try out the new 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation, $229 per month. What about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $799 per month? Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
The Detroit Tigers are locked and loaded for another great summer in Detroit. And it all starts downtown at the biggest home opener party in the city. Join Woodward Sports at Grand Slam Festival as we take over the Detroit Opera House parking lot. A big-ass tent for a big-ass Detroit party. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFestival.com or follow Woodward Sports on X and IG for your chance to get in for free. Party across from Comerica Park and hear the roar as the Tigers take the field for the first time in 2025. DJs, food trucks, bartenders, live broadcasts, and more. See you for the Tigers' first home game of the season, April 4th at the Grand Slam Festival with Detroit's biggest party animals, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? I know you are. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at shop.woodwardsports.com. All right, so hoodies, tees, hats, all guaranteed to turn heads. Everyone's going to be asking you, where'd you get your new Tigers hoodie? Where'd you get your new Tigers hat? When they see you at opening day, you tell them to go to shop.woodwardsports.com and get your new merch there.
Hey guys, it's Tiger season. That's right, Detroit, get ready. Tigers opening day is here. Friday, April the 4th. Join Woodward Sports for the biggest and best party in the D. It's the Grand Slam Festival outdoor tent party at the Detroit Opera House. Talk about a baseball throw to Comerica Park. We are right there. Brought to you by Mad Packs and White Claw, where drinks will be flowing, smoke clouds will rise, and parties will not stop. WSM broadcasts will go all day. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today at GrandSlamDetroit.com. That's Woodward Sports opening day. Brought to you by Mad Packs and White Claw. We'll see you then.
Number one, it's practicing when it's still light out. I've said that for 20 years. You know, we usually have a meal up on the concourse before we leave, wherever we go, just so I can see the sun shining and we're still practicing. It's not dark out. That means you've advanced. That's number one thing that excites me. Number two is just how many players and former players for us. Tum Tum stopped by today and he came into the meeting room. He was here yesterday for the games and he stayed overnight. And, you know, time of year it is, guys. You know, it's just, it's part of our DNA here. And so I'm excited every year. I told them if I see one guy entitled, I said, I'm sure as hell not entitled. I've been to 27, 26, 28 of them. I'm still counting the COVID year. But everyone's special. Everyone's exciting. You hear that music as they start it. You look and see where you are. You work until you look uglier than you do right now. I mean, those are all good things, man. And those are why you have the job, to be honest.
I am absolutely disgusted with Spartan fans. I think as a whole, I think you're fairly despicable people. And
I agree. Most of them are mean.
By the mentions yesterday on my Twitter feed, one guy called me the R word. Who's a current student.
Racist?
No.
the other one.
Nope, the other one I mean, just despicable language being levied by Michigan State Spartan fans, students alike, all for this tweet. I'm going to read you the tweet that I wrote yesterday. Big Ten Tournament Championship greater than regular season championship. All the eyeballs, only game in college basketball at that time, all the love on the network, all the momentum. For those reasons, I'll take the Big Ten tourney all day. Never one time did I mention the Spartans. Never one time did I mention the Spartans. But Spartan fans have now ruined the tournament for me because I was rooting. A piece of me was rooting for if obviously Michigan could win the national championship. I wanted Michigan State to do it this year. I wanted Tom Izzo to do it, but no more. You are all insufferable people, and I no longer could condone anything green and white or Michigan State. Just can't do it. I did not
condone it.
I did not invoke anything regarding Michigan State. I just said a sports opinion for me is that I would rather the Big Ten Tournament Championship than a Big Ten regular season championship because for me, I don't watch college basketball all year long. I don't care. There might have been 2 Michigan games that I've seen, and I'm being generous. Yeah. 2 Michigan games that I've seen in the regular season. Start watching in the tournament. And if the tournaments don't mean anything, then why doesn't the NCAA give an automatic berth to the regular season champion? That is not the case. The NCAA tournament hands out an automatic bid to the tournament champion, not the regular season champion. So to say these tournaments mean nothing, I'm sorry. They might not mean anything to the committee or the seeding or anything like that. But it does when you're talking about an automatic berth. When it says Big Ten champion on the bottom line, when it's going through, it says Michigan. That's who it says. And I'm sorry if you think that's about you or not. I didn't mention Michigan State's name one time. I just said for me, tournament championship better than regular season championship. That's all. But just horrifically, just I am living rent free in the heads of Michigan State Spartan fans. Rent free. I mean, it's fine. I don't think I'm all that special, but apparently I am.
Yeah, look, I've been called worse on social media by Cleveland Browns fans, Ohio. It just is what it is. It comes to the territory. And when I notice the people online talking that smack, talking that stuff, saying the craziest things that you can imagine, it is the same 100 to 200 people. Same 300. If you want to go 1,000, fine. It's the same 1,000 people. It comes with the territory. In 2021, we came on this show, and we simply said, we can't even name you anybody on defense. They took that, Ryan. And that was their MO. And ever since that comment, and then, by the way, they won that game. That was the K9 game that I was talking about. They won that game, and they run it back. Then you double down.
It was the Hutch game.
And said, you said what?
It was the Hutch game, you mean. They took away his touchdown.
Yeah, but, I forgot about that. So at the end of the day, then it was that game. Then you double down and said, in fact, Aiden Hutchinson will place higher in the Heisman than Kenneth Walker does. Well, you know why they got mad? Kenneth Walker didn't even make it. So you poke the fire with their fans, and they just don't like you. So anything you put out there, like certain people hate Kanye West. They absolutely, most people do, to be honest. They hate Kanye West. I don't care if Kanye West came out on Easter Sunday and said, you know what, I want everybody to have a great Easter Sunday. You will have over 10 million people. F Kanye, he's this, he's that, he's blah, blah, blah. So at the end of the day, Ryan, it really doesn't matter. Like, if Michigan State deserves to win, if Tom Izzo puts on a hell of a show, if he puts on a coaching clinic, if he can get the most out of Jace Richardson and this squad and they deserve to win, I'll just have to deal with it. Because they deserve to win, and I like Tom Izzo. But because of these couple whack jobs, I value Tom Izzo a little bit too much. Yeah, Michigan State has more than a couple whack jobs. I will say that out loud. But I like Tom Izzo.
I'm wondering if it's like this in any other state where there's the big school and the state school, which they're both big.
I mean, Duke, North Carolina, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's that hate there.
You know?
There's a lot of hate, man, and we've talked about it. We've done shows
But Duke and North Carolina,
hate.
not to cut you off, they have balanced it out because there's still another 6 college schools on that campus to take away. So you have North Carolina State. Here's Wake Forest. Here's NC State. So it's not just those 2. Here, it's just these 2.
I will tell you this, as an out-of-towner, as you guys call me, moved here in 93.
Who says that?
Well, a lot of people say, Maz, you're not a true Detroiter.
You've lived here longer than you lived in Jersey.
I know. Right. I've lived here 32 years. I lived in New Jersey, brought up there in 31
4
years.
years longer I've been alive.
So listen, I come here, and I'm rooting for all the Michigan teams. Yeah. Even though I grew up a Michigan Wolverine fan. That's right.
Go Blue.
Keith Jackson doing the games almost every Saturday in New Jersey. We didn't have a football team to root for in New Jersey, in New York. We didn't. We had basketball. We had some good schools in basketball. But Michigan was my team. It was either that or you chose Notre Dame. I chose Michigan, the big house. And when I moved here, my fiance picked me up, took me to where? The big house. And they let me on the field. I'll never forget it, that feeling I had that March day. And I'm just sitting there and I'm looking around and I'm at my childhood dreams place. So when you call me a Walmart Wolverine, you can go to hell. But now that I've been here for 32 years, it's soured me. Michigan State has soured me. The fans have soured me. It made me almost hate them. And I pay for 2 of my daughters, 2, to go to Michigan State.
Oh, really?
2.
My sister.
And I have to hate them.
This weekend.
And my daughter, my youngest daughter, who's a senior in high school, she's going to go to State. And she saw Michigan play yesterday. I know. She saw Michigan play. Oh, boo, Michigan. I'm like, listen, young lady.
Go there yet.
You have no issues with Michigan. You have no right to hate Michigan. You know, Dad, that's Daddy's team. Look, I'm sitting under my Michigan blanket. That's Daddy's team. You don't hate that Daddy's team.
Under a blanket.
My daughter, Lily, she's too far gone. I'm sorry. I tried my best to keep her. But the fans just irritate me like nobody's fans irritate me. I can't understand it. I don't understand the hate and vitriol you have for the University of Michigan. I hear you always telling them they're this, they're that. They're this. Listen.
They're the annoying little brother.
You're still a Big Ten team. You're as big as Michigan, Ann Arbor, East Lansing, 2 great cities. I don't understand all the you can't say one good thing about the Michigan Wolverines. And you guys turned my stomach sour against a university, and I'm paying for 2 of my kids to go there. Yet I'm still going to root for Tom Izzo every single time. I love that guy.
It wasn't like this when I was younger, and we all know when it started. It's just crazy that when it started, the ripple effect is the continued nature of how Michigan State fans act. It was the Mike Hart comment. That's my guy. That's my little brother, and he made the comment, little brother. Ever since that moment, and then that's what D'Antonio, that's what he built his program on. The disrespect of Michigan, being the underdog. Well, we can only take 3 stars. So they built that vitriol and that anger that built up from 06 to 07 to here we are in 2025, and it's never been stronger.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Maz, you're a better human than I am, because I
also when Michigan started winning,
I just can't do it. Yeah. I just can't. I think John Beeline was tremendous for the University of Michigan. I just think the way he did it was unbelievable. Now you got Dusty May who's really scuffling at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
They do something good, in the tournament, and you're trying to celebrate your own team. Michigan State took such great offense to Michigan winning the Big Ten championship yesterday.
Yeah, my mother-in-law came over last night for dinner, and she roots for my daughter's teams. So she comes up, she's all sad. I'm like, hey, did you see that Michigan game? She says, yeah, I watched it today. I'm like, I just wanted Michigan State to win. I'm like, yeah, but Mom, they lost 2 days ago. They're still going to be in the big tournament. I know, but I just really, wanted to. Even my mother-in-law, I can't even turn. It's just, it mind boggles me how much vitriol, hate that there is between the Michigan State fans and the University of Michigan.
You know where that hate came from? The hate comes from Michigan. Whatever you want to say about how Michigan won the national championship and they got these Big Tens over the last 4 years, it is what it is. Michigan kicked ass for 4 years, won 4 titles, and then won the national championship. They hate that part, but they were happy because what happened this year? Michigan wasn't that good this year. Finished strong, but football wasn't that good this year. You guys are falling off. Jim Harbaugh's gone. Your basketball team sucks. Juwan Howard's a bum. You got this guy named Dusty May. Oh, by the way, now they win the conference tournament. And now they don't even have that. So the reason why they're so angry is what they had was Michigan supposed to be terrible basketball this season, and their football team's not going to be good. Well, we won the Big Ten tournament. Now you're wondering, damn, we're in the same region with them.
Michigan State found their savior. Was it 10, 12 years ago? In Mark D'Antonio. He came here as
Probably
an
more than
a-hole.
that.
He came here as an a-hole from Ohio.
7.
Ohio State came here. But he saw how much hatred there was, and he built on it. He built on that hatred. The pride comes before the fall bull crap that I cannot stand. And I think he stirred it up even more.
He did.
He stirred it up. And I know the Spartans became very good challengers during that
That's why I
period.
said he built his program on that same concept.
He did. He built it on the Ohio State hate. He came here, and I think he really turned the tide to the complete hatred of the University of Michigan. And it's him. And I still can't even look at him. I don't like him still.
He doesn't get that opportunity. And this is, once again, I love the fact Mike made the comment, they are a little brother. I was appreciative of it then, and I'm appreciative of it now. But when Mike made the comment, now you can mix that in with the comment. Now you have your formula of how I'm going to stoke these fans, and I'm going to motivate the players that come to East Lansing. And it was brilliant. I talked to guys during that era, man. There was some really good players.
They owned it.
Some really good teams, and they earned it, man. And how he built it, like he said, it was 3 stars that he bought in, and they bought into what East Lansing was. But
I'm going to call for the upset. 15 over the 2. Bryant over Michigan State. I'm going to call for that upset. I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I'm calling for the upset of Bryant over number 2 Michigan State. Phil Martelli Jr.
There you go.
That was sweet the other night.
Phil Martelli, former Michigan assistant coach, associate head coach. Phil Martelli, longtime coach of St. Joe's, who is near Bryant University, out of Rhode Island over there,
yes, sir.
To upset the Spartans. And the Spartan fans have themselves to thank for that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go that far as to say that's going to happen. Although we've seen it before. Michigan State has lost in the first round before, but I don't think it's going to happen this time around. They struggled a little bit against Wisconsin. They did struggle. Got to have somebody help out Jace Richardson. Nobody else really got involved in that game when they lost to Wisconsin. So we'll keep an eye on that. They didn't shoot as well as they had been shooting in that stretch of games that they won when they went through that gauntlet of teams, including Michigan and Maryland, Wisconsin, and Illinois. They were shooting really well in those stretches. Didn't shoot well in the tournament. So we'll keep an eye on it. But Tom can't lose this one. This is where I'm at with it. Izzo cannot lose this game.
That's another great point.
He can't lose this one. This is the one. He's gotten back to it. Everybody said he should have retired last year or the year before, and he doesn't have it anymore, and he doesn't know how to coach this game, and it's over. He'll never get that second win. Well, here you are with a team that's pretty damn good, and a team at one point people thought might be the favorite, going into it outside of Auburn. So they got to win. Because if it's not this year, it's not the age-old conversation. Well, it's not this year, it's next. Well, it's not this year, it's next. He just told you it's 28 years. It's not going to be too many more next years.
Bryant is
Rhode Island.
Bulldogs from Rhode Island.
That's right.
So we'll see how they fare. Friday night, both of our teams play at 10 o'clock. Michigan State, Bryant is the 10 o'clock game in Cleveland. Michigan against UC San Diego, 10 o'clock game in Denver. Michigan's got to travel, get that high altitude going, and we'll see how it rolls.
Let me answer a question from Tommy K here. I think this is hard for some people to believe. Here's what Tommy K says in the chat. So basically, Ryan would rather be the best team in the Big Ten for 3 days rather than 3 months.
What?
What the heck?
Yes! That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Those 3 months don't matter.
Right.
Well, they don't matter to me because I am not watching.
It don't matter.
I don't know what is so hard about that. I am speaking for myself as a sports fan. I would rather be good for 3 days in the tournament than 3 months of a regular season. I don't know what is so hard to understand. I am not watching those 3 months, so I don't care what happens. I don't care. That moment that Michigan won at the buzzer against Maryland, if they do that in the regular season, who cares?
They did in regular season.
But I didn't even know that.
I know that.
They did a couple times.
I didn't even know that.
It was a fun game.
I didn't even know
The
that.
shot, think about it. The shot was the only reason we were talking about the game.
But again, Saturday.
But to his point,
Saturday, it's 3 dribbles and in the basket at the buzzer, essentially, maybe 7/10 of a second to go, and Michigan wins that game. I'm standing in front of my television set like a madman watching this thing. If that happens in January, which apparently you're telling me it did, I don't even know that it happened.
happened 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So I don't know how better to tell you people.
But I will say,
yes, that is how I feel.
Hey Ryan, don't crash out. Don't crash
Don't
out.
crash.
Don't crash out.
I don't know. I just can't even
The young
believe
kids
it.
waiting for the crash
How
out.
better do I have to explain myself?
now maybe Tommy K was in that room with the NCAA bracket guys, because in reality, that tournament meant nothing to those guys.
That's right.
Because they locked it up before the tournament started. They said 1 through 10 was done. Michigan's a 5. What if Michigan, runs the table? They're still a 5. They're still a 5. We got to let North Carolina in for this guy who's making $104,000. We got to let them in. We got to let this school in. Indiana, screw them. Screw Indiana. Screw. It was another Big Ten team. Ohio State. Both of those, the first 4 out, last 4 out.
Well, that's not a
I'm
problem.
just saying. So instead of 8, we could have had 10. Instead of SEC having 14, they could have had 12. It's still, in other words, the regular season meant everything to the bracket guys. It did.
No,
So
absolutely.
they awarded MSU and they screwed Michigan.
Can I interject just for a second? Before the tournament even started, and I'm speaking for myself now, before the tournament started, I said what? Michigan looked like, in the tournament, probably a 5 seed that loses to a 12 seed. I said that.
Yeah.
Before the tournament even
Agreed.
happened. We watched how bad they played in those last 4 games. We knew what Michigan was. So, and this is just me playing devil's advocate, but I tend to agree. If they looked and saw, Michigan's not that good, they could care less about these 3 wins. They could care less because what they saw, that eye test, and we all agreed going into the tournament, Michigan didn't look good at all. And they deserved the 5 seed. And so if the tournament is looking at them and was like, yeah, they won, but still a 5 seed. If
Then
that's
why
what
play
they're
the
going
tournament?
with, you said what?
Why are you wasting my time?
Well, that
then?
part I agree with. I agree with that part.
Why do I have to waste my weekend watching that tournament when it meant nothing?
Yeah, no, it clearly meant nothing to the committee. It clearly meant nothing. And again, this is not a take. Like somebody said, I usually agree with Ryan, but this is a bad take or something like that. That is not a take. That is just my opinion about college basketball.
It's not a take. It's an opinion.
I mean, ask any one of these guys. Ask my former radio partner, the great Rico Beard. Ask him how I feel about college basketball. This is no new news to anybody that knows me. I do not watch college basketball. I don't care about it. It just never did anything for me. It's too many games. I don't care about it. So I like it when the tournament comes around. And I got news for you. I really don't care about the NHL either. I mean,
Till the last week.
To the last week of the season, if the Red Wings are in the playoffs, I'm a madman. It's great.
Remember last year, the last week of the season
It was
the whole season.
It's the two of the best weeks I think I've ever experienced. I'm sorry. It's NFL, 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 college football, college football, college football, and I am a baseball junkie. I love baseball. I could watch the Astros and the Royals on a Wednesday night and be just happy.
Ew.
And the
I'm joking.
And the NBA, I do love the NBA if there's a story.
Yeah.
There is a story now in the NBA with Luka going to the Lakers and all this movement now and all these injuries and the Pistons. There's a story. So I'm just explaining how I view sports. These are not takes. This is not a take. This is just my sports viewing habits and my opinion. I don't understand how it's even controversial.
It's not. It's what you like.
Right.
But, we're sports idiots. We're all of us. I'm talking everyone. We all think our opinion is the only one that matters. And that's what it comes down to. And that's okay. That's what makes the world go round.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that. I was laughing at a post. I'm scrolling Instagram. This is yesterday. I'm killing some time watching the players with my pops. Shout out to Rory McIlroy. It took him 7 years. He finally won. Finally got the monkey off his back.
Man.
Rory got the monkey off his back in overtime.
$4.5 million he won.
In 100% in extra innings. Shout out to Rory McIlroy. We're sitting here and I'm scrolling.
You can thank Liv for that.
Yeah, you can. They got those bags a little heavier.
Right.
So this influencer, she posted something. She posted a little interpretation of his video with her and her husband. And I'm laughing because I'm reading the comments. And people are trying to tell her what her video meant. She's legitimately trying to tell me. She's like, yo, I appreciate that, but the reason why I made this video is for my husband. This was why I made it. Nah, it's giving off the wrong vibe. This is what it is. You should have made it. This dumb.
That's
how do you? I made this video with the intent that this was so. It's just funny.
God.
You can't tell people.
Great stuff.
Sky is blue. No, it's not. Okay.
It is classic. By the way, we got to get a little Tigers in because that superstar third baseman of theirs that they're counting on, he's down in Toledo.
And there's news regarding the broadcast. Regarding the broadcast. We'll do all that next. But first, a message from us here at WSN.
Where you going? Bracket challenge, my man.
I was thinking about WSN merch. I wasn't thinking about bracket challenge. Fill out your own free bracket now. Check it out. QR code is right above it on the head. Look, 3 great prizes. You saw Dr. Jugger was in earlier, and guess what? He sponsored the whole bill. $1,000 if you win. $1,000, I don't know about you, but that could go a long way. Second place isn't bad either. It's a getaway for 2 to the Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City. Been there. It's fire. Ryan to be there later on this year. And then 2 tickets to see the Pistons in the Pistons Suite. Snacks, food included for a great experience. All you got to do is scan the QR code or go to WoodwardSportsBracket.com. Bracket challenge.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. With over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, it's the gym for you because there's no judgment. That's why it's home of the judgment-free zone, as well as there's a trainer with every membership that you get, so you can get yourself in shape and you can have somebody guide you along that path. Also, man, look, you come in, that no judgment, it's fun, it's cool, it's chill. Planet Fitness has fitness that fits into your budget as well, man, so they're not trying to hit you over the head. Just come on down. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, just a little bit of Tigers news today. Kirk Gibson, the Detroit Tigers, and FanDuel Sports Network have come out with a...
Who's Kirk Gibson?
Our hero.
They've come out with a joint statement saying that Kirk Gibson essentially is not going to be in the booth anymore. Gibson says, although I may be leaving the booth, my connection with the Tigers remains strong. And then former play-by-play man Matt Shepard on Twitter.
Hey, Shep.
This is his tweet. Shame on the Tigers, and he tagged them. Shame on the Tigers. This was not his decision. Gibby's one of the best teammates I've ever had in broadcasting. He loves the team and the city, and prepares better than any analyst I've ever worked with. So Tigers essentially forcing Gibby out. If that is the case, if you believe Matt Shepard, which I absolutely do.
Yeah, me too.
I hate this for Gibby because I think that he was going to – I hate this for Gibby, and I hate this for Tigers fans. I think he was only going to do like
a handful of games.
10 games anyway this year.
He's so insightful.
You can't have him be like a third man in the booth for like 10 games.
Should have been a third man.
Just a Tigers legend. It's interesting what's happening down there. I don't know. You know,
Johnny Kane's not getting the deal either.
No,
I
really?
love Johnny Kane.
Yeah, Johnny's out.
At the Tiger game, that guy is he's
amazing.
the best.
Mm-hmm.
The best.
Crazy.
I'm not saying another word.
Well, it appears that they're going to their own guys now. You know what I mean? They're going to their own guys. Like, because I mean, Trevor Thompson, Mickey York,
love those guys.
I don't think we have. I don't think any of those guys are part of it.
Honestly, they're gone too.
I don't
know.
think so. I don't know. I just have not seen their names anywhere. And it's not like I'm just saying. I don't know. This about Gibby saddens me because it did not have to be like this. The guy was just going to do a handful of games this year. I mean,
and as a third guy in the booth.
As a third guy in the booth, come on. You know what
Come
I mean?
on, man.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I don't say anything too negative. I don't fully understand the situation. The only thing I will say that I hate is every time we talk about the Detroit Tigers, the information not necessarily is the best. It just seems like whenever we're talking about that organization, there's just one blunder after the next. And I don't know whose fault it is or who's responsible, but we're cheering for them. Like what the Tigers did for us last year, you know what I'm saying? And not only getting to the playoffs, but winning a playoff series, and then not only doing that, actually being up in the second one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Giving us a chance in hopes that we actually get to the ALCS. So definitely here supporting them and rooting for them. It just feels like, man, I don't know.
They're
something's off about
their infield. Their team. They're flawed, guys.
Oh, duh.
They're flawed. They're a young team. They're young. We know that.
Yeah.
But Scott Harris, and he tried to get Alex Bregman here. I cannot take that away from him.
I agree.
Alex Bregman wanted to go hit off the Green Monster. He didn't want to challenge Comerica Park. So to hell with him. But there's got to be another deal out there. He can't. I guarantee you he will make another deal. Because he was going to trot Jace Young out there. And everyone's a Jace Young fan. Oh, he's going to hit for power. He's going to do this. And he might. but he already got sent down. He's not coming up with the big club. He's not going to L.A. for the opener. He's probably not going to be here when the White Sox come on opening day either. So they have to put 2 guys over there to try to stopgap till Matt Vierling comes back in maybe another month. Who knows how long that's going to be. Parker Meadows, still out with that dead nerve in his right arm. He's not going to be ready. This is a team that won playoff games last year. Thankfully, they got in because Minnesota was so bad.
Yeah.
If Minnesota played 500 ball, the Tigers would
Or a
not
little
have
bit
made
less
it.
than that.
Yeah, they would not have made it.
48.5.
But they did. We had Dan Dickerson on the other day, and I challenged him. Do you think getting in the playoff and doing how you did hurt them this year? And I'm still going to say, yes, it does. It did, because you sold us a lemon. They're a lemon. And I know they haven't played a game yet, but you cannot compete with the team that they're going to bring up to the big house. You can't. And I hope that there's something out there that they can do, a trade, whatever, or maybe there's someone in the minors ready to come up. I don't know, man. I'm just a little nervous on how this season's going to start.
Let me clean it up. I wasn't even necessarily talking about the free agent moves that they did or did not make. I was talking about the young guys. Look, the young guys are the young guys. Scott Harris told us his plan was. His plan is to build within their farm system, which is #1 in MLB. I get it. I'm fine. You want to run Javi Baez out there yet again? I get it. I'm fine. I was talking about little things like taking care of the people that work with the Detroit Tigers, keeping the familiar faces around this organization that seems like it's trying to go in the better direction. How about you have familiarity that I recognize, players and people that we know? And then also, too, since you want to tell us that we have to spend all this money on these suites, these dugout suites, well, why don't you put a team in place for us?
I will say this, Maz, I don't fault the Tigers for Jace Young. This kid, I don't believe all summer long, I mean, he knew that Bregman was the target. I think the team was desperately trying to overpay for Bregman in hopes that this would not be a problem. And then all of a sudden in the 11th hour, Bregman goes somewhere else. I mean, the Tigers, if you believe the reports out there, and again, there's no reason not to believe them. I think the Tigers had the best deal for Alex Bregman, and they did not think this was going to be an issue. And if you didn't have Bregman, you had Vierling. And now you don't have either. And so Young has to
and Meadows
and has to press. And again, I go back to something that Anthony Tomey, born in Detroit, said ad nauseum when we were here. Any player playing AA baseball right now has the talent to be a major league ball player. But what separates those players from AA and major leagues is right here. Right here, their mind. And if you believe what who's the manager? AJ Hinch. If you believe what AJ Hinch said about Jace Young, how just the mental preparedness. I mean, he was pressing from the minute he got to camp. Pressing, the timing was off from the jump, from day one. That's mental. That's got nothing to do with talent. So we'll see what happens. I hope it works out for the kid. I hope he can go down there, slow down.
And Torque came here with the weight of the world on his back. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It looks like maybe he's going to be okay.
Yep.
So the move they made to move Young down, maybe it opens up first base now for Torque. And maybe Colt Keith could go play third. I don't know. I don't know who could play third base. Maybe Torque could play third base. Maybe Javi Baez can play third base. Because guess what? Javi Baez played center field the other day even. Mm-hmm. They're finding a spot for this guy, guys. So I guess, like Neil Rule says, I guess we buy a Javi Baez shirt and root for the guy.
And, Torque is taking outfield reps too. So that's something.
He'll do anything he said.
To keep an eye on. Hey, while we're talking baseball, can we do this story?
Absolutely.
Because
I got the video.
This was the greatest video in the history of college baseball when it comes to celebrations. And did you see it from the University of Michigan? It was quick.
I definitely saw
Keep the audio down.
it wasn't quick.
I mean,
it wasn't quick enough.
That's Mitchell Voigt, Michigan's second baseman.
Couple times.
Mitchell Voigt, who's hitting over 400 this year. Yeah, he did the Scarface
I actually
movie.
had to watch it like 100 times to actually understand what he was doing.
It took me like 5 times.
And well, I mean, I didn't know at first. Like I didn't realize it
same.
at first. I mean, once you see it, not once you're like, oh my god, duh.
First rep.
Really, first rep.
And if you watch the video and pay attention, because he's been hitting bombs all year. Apparently, Magic said he's batting 400. He knew he had time. When you watch him around second, he slowed down and purposely dove head first so he could do the celebration. We'll watch it again off air. If you're at home, pull the.
He's a good ball player.
No, he is a good ball player. My
wonder
thought
why.
is it thoughts, is it reactions.
Well,
I saw it. He slowed down, coming around that bag and then dove on purpose.
Somebody got to him.
Yeah.
Because he came out with a statement
Yeah,
today.
he had to.
I would like to apologize for my actions on third base yesterday. I made it immaturations. It is a eyeballs, views world we live in. Who is going to generate the most impressions?
He won.
Right? Who is going to generate the most impressions? Whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. How many impressions can you get? How many views can you get? How many likes can you get? How much buzz can you create? And when that's the game, you do things that you probably wouldn't do. You say things you probably wouldn't say otherwise. I mean, I'm just as guilty of it. I talk sometimes on this podcast way more forcefully than I would ever just kind of talk, having a conversation about something I really don't even care about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On Tigers
go
Insider,
overboard.
Matt Broder on the. We miss you, bro.
Miss you, Broder.
Can't wait to see you again. He said he's a two-way player, one of Michigan's best pitchers too. Might be a first or second rounder. He is a stud. So you know what? The first time I saw it, I'm like, man, you can't do that. And I think as a father, and I'm thinking of my little league son that's going to want to do that. That's what I'm thinking of, because every little leaguer that's going to be at the college,
you can't do
that's
it.
going to be in the World Series on television, one of them or two of them is going to try to do something that dumb.
Or just
But
when
again,
At the end,
when your kid asks about why did he do that. Like,
Awesome
Dad, what is that?
video. Awesome video generates lots of buzz and content. Can't do it.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know what time it was. Like, you can't do this stuff. Like, you can't do it, because at the end of the day, Shohei Ohtani and all these baseball, they do dirty stuff. They do little secretive things.
I hate the Dodgers celebration.
And little nasty stuff. And at the end of the day, they try to secretly do it. Like, that's nasty too, and we know what that is. But they're adults and no one's checking them. But that trickles down to the college level. And these guys that are making an eye on money, and they're cool, and they're kicking, and they're selling, laughing with their boys, now they're doing this. He knew he was going to get in trouble. He didn't care. And I like it. It is what it is. He knew he was going to get in trouble. He knew he'd go viral. He knew he'd be able to clean it up, because he knew mom and dad was going to get on his ass. And that's why in that comment, like literally the second sentence is, you know, my mother, my father, my family. Like they got to him, they was like, what the hell are you doing? Because at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're imitating, or you're impressioning, you know, snorting a line. You know, like you said, man, as it
And he
trickles.
practiced it.
What?
I bet he did.
And he may not practice it, you know, just playing. So
Well, again, I mean,
just be mindful. You represent your parents, you represent your institution, and also when you leave University of Michigan, these things happen to stay with you. So if baseball doesn't work out, and you're working in someone's hedge fund, and you're working in someone's bank, or you're working at wherever, and they pull that video up and say, so in your spare time, we saw this video. Do you indulge in this activity in your spare time? Because the video's out there, so just be careful.
Even with, you know, some of the touchdown dances, and we've seen Amon-Ra not.
But he
do
ain't
it
never
with
sniffed a
drugs.
line of coke.
No, I'm not saying that. Not saying drugs, but the pelvic thrusts too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like some people might not like that.
I feel you.
I
Object,
despise
you know,
I hate the Dodgers for that.
Like
I hate them.
you got a pelvic thrust to like every different maybe. It's everybody is trying to one up the next to create the buzz. It sucks, but that's the game we're living in now. Who can create the most buzz with this stuff? It's not. It's just where we are in 2025.
Also, too, next time you want to do something crazy and go viral, hit a home run.
There you go.
Yeah,
there
right.
You go.
There you go.
Run the bases backwards.
He
or
did
something.
drive in 2 runs, so I'm acting like he didn't do much. It's a triple, he drove in 2 runs, so that is respectable. But if you're going to do something this crazy, at least hit a dinger.
All right, guys. Hey, we're going to take a break. Come right back. Bray was at the Pistons game this weekend. JB Bickerstaff drawing a lot of love for his post-game celebration. Braylon was actually He was actually up on the big screen. How
I
about
was.
that? Do we have that for you?
So was Max.
But first, so was
right,
Max.
Max was there.
But first, a message from our friends at Buddy's Pizza. Celebrate March Madness with our friends from Buddy's, the original Detroit-style pizza since 1946. 79 years later, 22 locations in the state of Michigan, including the original where it all began, 6 Mile and Conant. Sign up for Buddy's Rewards to earn points on every purchase and receive exclusive promotions. Download the Buddy's mobile app. Start earning today. Add some Detroit-style pizza to your next meal and watch your next game. Save 10% off the entire order using the promo code 10MEAL. That's the hashtag number 10MEAL, MEAL, Buddy'sPizza.com, Buddy'sPizza.com. And Maz.
Oh, hey, how about it, man? Dreaming of a new home, but feeling a financial pinch? Well, Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, $5,000 in your pocket, not theirs. Call them today, 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Woodward Sports is at it again, giving away more cash and prizes than anyone in Detroit. Get into our March Bracket Challenge, powered by Jug and Nathan Neurosurgery. If you have the biggest basketball brain and get first place, you win $1,000, cold hard cash. But it doesn't stop there. Second place gets a weekend at Grand Traverse Resort in Traverse City, including brunch at Erie and golf. Third place, 2 club seats to see the Pistons versus Bucks with food and drinks courtesy of RHB Laboratories in Troy. You can pre-register now at woodwardsportsbracket.com. That's woodwardsportsbracket.com. Then, after Selection Sunday, fill out your bracket for your chance at $1,000 in cash, money, and more. Pick by mascot, choose by team colors, have your dog pick. No matter how you do it, go to woodwardsportsbracket.com right now and register. All powered by the best in the game, Jug and Nathan Neurosurgery and Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, do not miss out on our expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. He joins us every Tuesday on Big D Energy. He joins us on Thursdays right here on The Big Show. Trust the guy that D-Mac and Braylon trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game, playing at your best, performing at your best. Give him a call today, 248-426-9944. You can hit him up on that QR code as well. And don't forget, MichiganSportsandSpine.com.
to enter our WSN March Madness bracket, but before you also do that, you need to scan the QR code above my head and use the code word Woodward1000 to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, because March Madness is here. You might as well bet the games. When you open up your brand new account, deposit at least $20 and make a first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you'll get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan the QR code above my head and use the code word Woodward1000 to get your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account, gentlemen.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. First of all, the good. Braylon Edwards, OKC, Saturday night. How cool was this? We have this?
Yep, hang on. Let me grab my get the open out of here, and we have that. There he is.
Look at that. Braylon!
Did Mason call you out?
So the funny thing about this is, you know, like being on the Jumbotron, I just shaved my beard the day before. So, like, everybody that saw it was like, who the hell? And I had a bunch of people that hit me up because they were either there or somebody sent it to them or they got linked, and then they hit me up. So they were like, what happened to your beard? But no, it was fun. Always a good time.
Now, how do you know you're getting shouted out at that point? Or
Yeah, that time I did because the guy, he came up to me. He's like the Pistons hype guy with the camera, and he like, hey, all right, look, when we do the What Up Though segment, can we use you? I was like, yeah, for sure. So he was like, all right, countdown. As soon as the cheerleaders are finished, he give you the countdown and they come over with the video. So, but it was cool just to get that love and respect, you know, still in the city.
I heard a big pop.
Then they played the fight song afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Michigan won. So that was Michigan won the day before. So it was cool. It was love, man. I never take that for granted.
Did Max get a standing O too?
Always appreciate it.
Max.
You said what?
Did Max get a standing O as well?
the first guy I noticed was Max next to you.
First guy I noticed. That's the first thing is, all right, cool, who's he with? It's like, who's he with? So no,
those seats could be yours, guys.
This is real. 100%.
Those seats could be yours.
I'm not blowing smoke.
We haven't talked about the Super Chat
Please
today.
let him know.
Those seats, that's right. That's second row at Little Caesars. Right there, off the court. It's the Braylon
Pistons giveaway.
Parlay package.
Yeah,
Second row seats, parking pass, dinner at Parlay. $5 in the Super Chat will get you one entry. $10 in the Super Chat will get you 3 entries. $20 in the Super Chat will get you 10 entries. We will draw that winner next week.
I'm telling you guys, we didn't have any entries today. So if you want to get it in,
it's Thursday.
Now is the time.
Yeah.
Next Thursday, we're pulling it, and the winner is going to see the Cavs and the Pistons, second row. Maybe you could be on the Jumbotron with Max.
Now, the Pistons, if you watch that game, one of the most horrible officiated games of all time. Cade Cunningham got booted in the third quarter for something that didn't even really happen. Here's JB Bickerstaff after the game.
You say to you guys after a game like this? I'm extremely proud of the way they continue to compete. I'm disgusted by the way that game was officiated. The level of disrespect was above and beyond. They have a guy fall down and trip on his own teammate's foot. They review us for a hostile act. They throw an elbow to our chest, neck area. I ask for him, at least take a look at it. Right? Just show us the respect to take a look at it. Okay? No one would take a look at it. Okay? The disrespect has gone far enough, and I'm not going to allow our guys to be treated the way that they were treated tonight. Okay? I tried to have a conversation with official. The official was arguing with Mark. I say his name one time, and he screams at me and tells me that's enough. Right? We understand that we play a style of ball that's physical, it's on the edge. Right? I coach my ass off with a passionate way. I'm into the games. Our players are into the games. We understand that, right? But we deserve a level of respect because we're competing our tails off and bringing something positive to this league, right? We're growing young players. Our young players are competing their tail off. The least that they could do is get the same respect that everybody else in this league gets and get refereed the same way that everybody else in this league gets refereed. And enough is enough of it. And what you saw tonight was disgusting. It was a disgusting display of disrespect towards our guys and what we're trying to do.
Yeah, the first thing is watching SGA. I didn't get a chance to say that first. Watching SGA live and in person, yeah, he's the real deal. Now, he is absolutely the real deal, McCoy. But the flip side of that is he got a lot of calls. And he only shot, 5 free throws. No, he had 10 points off free throws. They weren't fouls. Like, they weren't calls. I'm talking about the tickiest of ticky-tack calls that they were calling on our players for SGA. Now, on the flip side, I saw Cade get hit in the mouth. I saw him get hit in the chin. I saw Beef Stew take a shot to the ribs. They weren't calling fouls. And for those who are like, oh, this is nothing against Detroit, they don't do this for the Lions. This has nothing to do with the Lions. This is the Pistons. This is an ongoing disrespect and hate for the Detroit Pistons that started in the 80s. And it continues to this day. I promise you. The hate for the Pistons in the NBA is 100% real. He's absolutely right. They don't want that brand of basketball back. They got rid of that brand of basketball that the Pistons ushered back into the going-to-work Pistons. They got rid of it because they didn't want it then. And they damn sure don't want it now with all the three-point shooting and the foreign players and the Euros and the finesse. They don't want that style of play. And they're trying to show the Pistons now up front and, hey, we're not going to accept that. And I love that JB came to the forefront. He let it be known. He said it. He crashed out, but I love it because at the end of the day, he's right. If he doesn't stand for his players, who's going to? Because our last coach wouldn't do it. The coach before that was more reserved, more chill, had a lot of class, and Dwayne Casey, not saying that JB doesn't. But JB is going about a much more vocal path, and I like it.
They'll beat Nola's ass tonight.
Yep. It's as big of a what do I want to say? Not trendsetter, but it's a tone setter.
Oh yeah.
This sets the tone for the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
This sets the tone for the expectation for the Detroit Pistons. This coach speaks for all of us. This coach speaks for you. This coach speaks for me. This coach speaks for the entire city. And I think he has, if he hasn't already, has endeared himself as one of us moving forward from this day forward. I mean, J.B. Bickerstaff, Detroit Pistons head coach. Say it with me.
You want me to give you a lock tonight, guys? Go to Caesars Sportsbook app. Bet the Pistons laying 6.5 tonight. You could book it. They will bury the Pelicans. And B. Martin, he's got a couple of tickets. How much for $10 again?
He gets three.
Three more tickets for B. Martin, who's I think he's leading the pack, him and Byrne. Thoughts on the way the game was called for the Pistons Saturday? Also, am I the only one who felt SGA was pushing off on his shots?
A little bit, but it's to the point where once you evolve and elevate yourself to where you're an MVP 1-2 each year, when you're in the runnings, last year he was 1, 2, 3. This year he's 1. So you're gonna get those calls. Like, this is the NBA. That's what they do. They want their stars to get the calls and allow them to get away with things. So he was pushing off a little bit, but he's put himself into a position where he can do that. And if Cade over time continues and the Pistons continue, that's the star treatment you can expect. But that comes with last year they were the number 1 seed. This year they're the number 1 seed. SGA has been balling for 6 years in NBA. So it comes with the territory. So
all right, Bray. Good one today.
Red Wings play. They won last night. Yesterday afternoon, they shut out Vegas 3-0. They're starting to play good hockey again.
2 points
They get to play Alexander Ovechkin tomorrow
he's
in
getting
Washington.
Close. How many goals now?
I think he's 7 shy.
7
He
shy.
ain't gonna get it.
Yeah, he is.
You think so?
Yeah.
Next year.
No, this year.
It's so funny watching the people, and I'm watching it's like the Jordan LeBron conversation. Like, obviously it's not the same, but the people that are Ovechkin fans, all the Wayne Gretzky, he's doing all that just to still be 2,000 points short.
Yeah.
Like this. And by the way, this
is the king.
But again, this isn't some player that's just hanging on. Washington is like the best team in the league.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's carrying them.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about LeBron. What about Ovechkin?
Yeah.
I was wondering if he has one.
The grade 8.
Much harder to do with Ovechkin's doing.
I agree. He has one Stanley Cup, and I wonder, like, man, is this one of those players? He's my favorite hockey player. Like, I never was Sidney Crosby. I like Ovechkin. I like the grit. I like that he can score coins and beat you up. Like, if he had gone somewhere else, one of the original 6 or one of the bigger markets, like, man, this is be one of those players I wish could do that.
No doubt, man.
Damn, that would have been
Should be
cool.
fun tomorrow. Go Wings.
Well, go Wings and go Ermanni. And that was Woodward Sports at Maz. I'm tell you like this. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you for listening. Shout out to Ricky Burns as well as P. Spivak. We will be back tomorrow. The desk will look a little different, but it will still be the same intent to give you good news and conversation. Ryan, Tom, Maz, we're out here.
Big Ten champs.
You know it.